Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. Our guest this morning, Mr. Jake Epelle, policy and development, as well as advocacy expert. A fine morning to you, Jake.
Good morning, brother. Yeah.
Thank
Folari,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
for being there for us.
Really, I should be thanking you. Now, looking at the sort of diplomatic situation that is evolving regarding us and Libya, it started out in, of all reasons, from the point of view of what? From the sports, from a sporting platform. And suddenly we're now hearing about Libya planning to mass deport Nigerians. I don't know, what have you found out? Is that overstating it, mass deportation of Nigerians?
Well, Brother Folari, I think this is one country that we have, and whatever is affecting the citizenry should be a concern for all. The background about this whole Nigeria-Libya fiasco is it started when they came here for the football match, and for some reason, they were told where to land. They chose Port Harcourt to land, and when they landed at short notice, the NFF NFA quickly put together the transportation for them to go by road to Uyo. All of that was done. They kept complaining. They kept making excuses for preparation. But eventually, we warned them. So they left. Unknown to us, they were planning what would look like a reprisal attack. And our team went to Libya. Instead of allowing them to land in Benghazi, which is the capital, they moved them to an airport that had been abandoned. And they landed there, spent over 20 hours in frustration. They wanted to humiliate them, frustrate them, and of course, psychologically, that will work against them. The team came back, which is the most very critical and worthy decision to make. You can't humiliate me and expect me to stay in your country and play. They came back, okay? Now, when they came back, the Nigerian Football Association had to officially report the matter to CAF. And CAF took it upon themselves, irrespective of all the intimidation by them against the South African president, telling him they would not support him for his re-election and all that. Online, they took a decision, holistic decision, which is expected, that they should lose that match since they were found responsible for all that happened. And then were told to pay $50,000. Now, that was CAF decision. That wasn't Nigerian decision. But the Libyan authority are now taking it out on Nigerians. There are two things that are happening, that are playing out. Number one is the mass arrest. It has started. It's not like it's about, it has started. They are picking them up, throwing some of them in jail, threatening to deport many of them. There is also, it's also important here to note that there are some Nigerians there that don't have all the papers and everything, which is illegal, because Libya had become a channel by which many of these young men and women who are looking for greener pasture go to Europe. So there is an ongoing effort to pick up Nigerians, throw them in jail, and all that. Now, it's fueled by the public sentiment, masterminded by the media, machinery of Libya. They are encouraging their government to go against Nigerians, pick up Nigerians, throw them out of the country, and force them to pay $500 for the so-called non-documentation, And the strategy is for them to use that platform to raise the $50,000 which they will pay. Now, it's very pertinent here to mention that the foreign ministry, Nigerian foreign ministry, and the consular must step up their game if they are not doing that already. But they need to be more proactive and to ensure that this kind of humiliation, which has been the order of the day, Libya is not the only country. South Africa tried it, you know. Sorry, you know, the power thing, you know, they're taking power from the, but at least you can still see me, you know. So these are some of the concerns that should be addressed and should be addressed immediately by both the Foreign Ministry and the Commission for Diaspora. You know, there is a need for us to move quickly because this has become a regular occurrence across the nations, you know, and we need to nip it in the bud. I am very, very, very patriotic about what happened to our citizens, especially outside the country. So Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Diaspora Commission, the consulate in Benghazi needs to swing into action to address this issue, to avoid this humiliation of other countries that they take out on Nigeria. This has become a regular issue, and every Nigerian matters, no matter where they are.
Okay.
And that protection will be there. I mean, there are other things that I would like to talk about
in
terms of what I think
maybe in the course
they can do. Yes.
Yes, maybe in the course of the program, you know. Well, as you've pointed out, there is a part that the media is supposedly playing in all of this. As you well know, diplomacy often, you know, now and again will be able to apply this reciprocity principle. You do me, I do you, God no go vex. You raise the fees for visa here, we raise the fees for visa there. You make it difficult for our country to citizens to do this, we make it equally difficult. Now, if there was the original charge of shabby treatment by the Nigerian officials that somehow was not noticed or picked up on, and the Libyans, you know, this is now just looking at it, sort of bided their time, knowing that the opportunity would come. I don't know if they made a representation to Nigeria protesting what they considered as shabby treatment. But as you said, all sorts of conjectures are now coming into it that even that $50,000 that CAF fined them as a result of unsportsmanlike behavior and all of that, it is the Nigerians who will pay it. By the time we arrest all of them, we levy them 5,000 naira, then we'll take all that money. Now, I'm sure the diplomatic community will now will know how best to handle this. We'll also know what are fibs, what are conjecture, what are figments of the imagination. Because the way it is going, I'm even hearing about mass deportation. That's why I asked you, are you hearing anything similar about mass deportation? Okay, so
yes.
I understand that that the subject matter has been revisited since. For instance, I think following a representation to CAF, maybe the fine has been removed, but it's an ongoing matter, as you well know. And you yourself said that the Foreign Affairs Ministry needs to be on it. But sometimes emotions get involved, especially when it's all about soccer as well. But any injustice or harm done to any Nigerian should be a cause for concern. But then we want to be sure that we don't sort of exaggerate what is going on, as you seem to be sure we are not doing.
No, Brother Flori, there's no exaggeration here. You know, the social media has become a powerhouse that every little thing you're doing in your own corner can just hit the global platform. There are Nigerians there they've made videos, you know, with their faces and their outcry. It's trending, you know. But also there are also individuals that people like us can reach to verify what's going on, you know. And so in matters like this, there is two, three things that I would like to present. Number one, there's always a issue of human rights concern. You know, how our people are treated, what is happening to them. Yes, for those of them who breaks the law, they should face the law. But those of them who have not, there are instances where they even show papers. They take the papers from them. They are Nigerians who have become Libyans by citizenship.
Okay.
They are threatening to take their passport from them and throw them out. We need to investigate these things.
Indeed.
You know, whenever things like happens, Brother Folari, there is always diplomatic tension. Therefore, there are diplomatic channels to handle these tensions. I don't want to sit here and presume that maybe foreign affairs and the diplomatic consulate in there are not working towards this. But they need to do something faster so that we can use this as an example. It has happened too many times. That's my concern. It happened too many times where Nigerians are disrespected, killed, maimed. You know, even if they commit crime, they need to take them through a legal process where if they are convicted, we can sit back and say, yes, they deserve that because they broke the law. But not people who are there, you know, some of them are going through the usual process of validating their stay, you know, maybe refugee status of that. And then you use this kind of opportunity and you start treating them as pawns. That must not be allowed. It's not accepted. So it's important for the right ministries, again, foreign affairs, the Diaspora Commission, to step up. And if they are doing that, they need to communicate so that people like us will know.
Exactly. Exactly. It does need to be thoroughly. Indeed. We
exactly.
They need to thoroughly investigate this whole matter and be able to report back. You know,
and also, yes. Because they need to also let us know what they have done.
Indeed.
Eventually.
Indeed.
You know, so there has to be a present action and there has to be a post-crisis report so that we can know that when this type of thing happened to this type of people, this was what was done and this is the kind of step we took. That will serve as a deterrent to other countries who wants to do this. Even our small neighbors here, Republic of Benin, they treat Nigerians there with disrespect. You know,
you just said our small neighbor here. You just said our small neighbor here. Might Nigeria be inadvertently offending people all over the place? A neighbor is a neighbor.
No, our brothers.
A neighbor is a neighbor. But our small neighbor here, they say, aha, you see Nigerians. You see Nigerians. Now, this might not be a thing that you can write down, but it can be a thing about we're waiting for you people. That time, when we call, I don't know. That was just a joke. That was just a little joke.
I take back my word. I'll use the phrase our close neighbor.
But seriously, you're making these points. Nigeria must be looked out for. And one can't allow bad treatment of Nigerians. But the point has often been made, and that's why, as you so rightly said, the Foreign Affairs Ministry needs to get in on this and let us know exactly what the situation is and what they have been doing about it. Otherwise, people can jump to all sorts of conclusions. As you know, the Foreign Ministry, even sometimes at the level of the presidency, are constantly advising our nationals that when you are anywhere outside, you need to be on your best behavior as an immediate ambassador of your beloved country. Because people will take what you do and, you know, just as it were, spread it all over the country. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. If you are a Nigerian, all Nigerians will pay for that. And I think without prejudice to some of the things that you have said, that Nigerians have been treated shabbily in certain cases, there still is the whole responsibility, we've been told of our citizens to be on their very best behavior. And that is without prejudice to the facts of this case, which you have said we need to be informed on how far it has been taken. But Brother Jake, let me just bring on Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Young Yuri.
Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to Mr. Jake Epelle.
Yes.
Okay, I've said it on a number of times on this program that our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the minister in particular, is not active. If you look at history, when it comes to Nigerians being maltreated abroad, it's Epelle, the leader or the head of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, that does the work of the foreign minister. When it is time, when they are being maltreated, she's the one we see doing everything. She should even be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The reason why she can't do more than she's doing now is because she's not mandated as the country's foreign minister to do it. If you give that lady that job, she will do it much, much better. Nigeria is not asserting itself in the international stage as it should be. Uncle Yori, with what I know, I can tell you this. If it was possible for these European countries and other developed societies to drive us away from Nigeria and then take over our resources and occupy here, while we will go to their own country, they will do it because of what is here. I've been privileged to travel to several countries. I've not seen one that has the kind of resources that the Almighty has given this country called Nigeria. They envy us. Instead of respecting us for who we are and what we have, they will be deriding us. Look at South Africa the other day, or several times. They come here to make billions of dollars. Then when our people go there to trade or do something, they start killing them, doing all sorts of things to them, and Nigeria will not respond. What Libya has done now, the right thing to do is, if you deport any Nigerian, even if it's only one Libyan that is living in this country, Nigeria should deport that person back to his country as well. In diplomacy, you do not play the weak. That's what diplomacy is about. You must show strength. Nigeria is not showing strength at the worst stage. Who says we are not strong? We have everything that it takes to be great. I believe my country is greater than any other country. If we have management deficits, it doesn't stop us from being who we are and what we have. Let us exert our strength when it becomes necessary. Minister of Foreign Affairs should not be sitting down after a council meeting to be addressing the press. If international affairs are in council meeting, it should be seen defending Nigerians. We are not saying, like the speaker said, if somebody has offended the laws of a country, he can pay for it. But his human rights must not be taken from him.
Indeed.
How dare you treat my national team the way I saw in Libya? And the same people are now threatening to, deport Nigerians in that. Who is Libya, by the way? We should tell them who they are.
All right.
Sorry, I'm angry.
Well, thank you very much for calling in, Mr. George. Okay, Brother Jake.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I heard him loud and clear. Let's take it piece by piece. Like I always say, Brother Larry, my analysis, the overall objective of my analysis is to find solution. So what are the solutions, immediate and remote solutions that we need to embark on? Number one, whenever there's issues like this, one is to activate diplomatic channel of engagement. Talk to the people at the diplomatic highest level. Engage the authorities, both at home and abroad. So the foreign minister has the authority of Mr. President and the global instruments to summon the ambassador immediately for a discussion, telling them that this will not be acceptable. Peradventure, that has been done.
Yes, exactly. We don't know. Yeah, it might indeed be
about to be done.
A work in progress.
Yeah. But you see, how you know is immediate mitigation of the issue. That issue is still ongoing. So whatever they've done, if they have done it, is not producing the result that we want.
I agree with you.
I think the second thing, and I'll could I
just take one caller that we have held up We're holding on to a caller. So let me bring that caller in, and then you go on to the second point you wanted to make. Good morning, sir. Joshua in Irewolide.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. I can't hear you very well, but I don't think it's your fault.
Your guest.
Good morning.
Uncle Yori, at this stage, this is an era of smart technology. Governance has gone beyond just rhetoric, just talks. Governance is now very powerful with communication. I want to say that the present government can do better than they are doing. I know that we voted for the president on account of competence, but he can't do it alone. It has to be a joint venture, as it were. Something is wrong with this governance that is going on currently, Uncle Yori. There's a complete communication in the public that is not aligning with the communication that is coming from government. So there's a lot of room to fill in the gap. And so there are several assumptions coming out here and there. This government needs to be put together. And the point in the public is the president is the arrowhead, the buck stops at his desk. Is it not time for the president to call a break? If there is a time in Nigeria to call a national conference where all of us can talk as a nation, where all of us can give direction to this country, it is now. Because communication is very powerful. Uncle Yori, the president and his people need to know that there's a communication out there that is different from what they are doing in governance.
Indeed.
Like Uncle George said, this nation is being trampled upon. Unfortunately, it is not just about international community or other nations. It is by us. We are the ones undermining the integrity of Nigeria. Other people are just adding to what we are doing to ourselves. Because they can hear this communication internationally, how we are treating ourselves as a nation. We seem not to be able to get anything right. So that is why it's almost right for anybody to treat us anyhow they like. So I would use your platform to say, let the president know that we believe in him. We know that he can do better. And let his team sit up. Nigeria is much better than all these tubo here and there. You cannot bring fuel from Dangote to the market. Everybody is arguing just because of stomach infrastructure, because of what they will eat. Everyone has forgotten about nationalism.
Yeah.
Everybody is about food. What is the food? Food that we will eat and die? Uncle Yori, we need a better nation than what we have now. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much for calling in.